Club Dub. Wow, you really messed that one up.
Wow.
I hope Sean Payton didn't mess it up yesterday after the Broncos' first win. It sounded like there was some music bumping in the locker room after the game, but Henry got some intel, or lack thereof of intel, on Club Dub, didn't you?
Yeah, I asked Quinn Miners about it specifically. I was just like, yeah, so that was a thing that happened in the past. Did you guys break that all out? And let's see, Word document. There it is. He said, I can't say that stays in the locker room.
Wow.
I was
what
like,
happens
okay,
in the
well,
locker
there you
room
go.
stays in the locker room?
Usually, yeah.
I was going to say, with some things.
Yeah, with some things, but Club Dub is not like top secret information.
No, it's well known. Yeah.
Pretty well known. I think he could have gave you that negative
I think
information.
you probably could have.
And Todd, did you ever have Club Dub with Sean Payton in 2014?
I think we had speakers and music, but it wasn't full out Club Dub with the lights and the disco ball and all that. Like, we didn't have it at that level yet. I think at certain points in New Orleans, he even got to where they had like misters and stuff. Like, we were definitely not on that level yet.
Now, is that normal for a winning locker room to have music and big speakers?
No, normally guys just come in there and celebrate the win, and then kind of everybody kind of retreats to their own locker, media comes in, but there's usually not like a celebration.
Man,
I feel like there should be.
You sound like depressed when you're like, and then media comes in.
Yeah, it was tough. Well, it's tough because it's like you're getting dressed, you're half naked, everybody's coming in. So how was the game? Like, can I put my pants on real quick?
Nope, we need to talk to you right now,
I
Todd.
need to know right now.
Don't worry, camera's up here. You're fine.
Or or it's so awkward, and I try to really, really, really avoid this when you see that a player is clearly about to get undressed and dressed, and then media is just like, surrounding you they give you like 6 more inches of space because you're about to get undressed. I can't imagine just getting undressed in front of a bunch of people that I don't really know. It's different when it's your teammates in the locker room, but I totally feel that. So Sean takes Club Dub to like 10 different levels. It's not just like one more level.
Yeah, he's definitely taking it up a notch. And hopefully they had a little celebration for the guys. It was a hard-fought win and finally winning. Like, his first win as a head coach of the Denver Broncos. So they need to have maybe some Breckenridge bourbon could have been in the locker room. Really turned it up one time.
Yep, the Broncos were giving the players on their way out. They were giving them, what pizza was it? Lou Malnati's? If I
can't remember.
Right? I think it was. It was like individual deep dish pizzas as they walked out of the locker room onto the bus.
Yep.
And is that something that's normal, where you get food right on your way to the bus?
Yeah,
like catered from a city?
Yeah, every away game. And so hopefully, or usually, it's like the best food in the city.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that deep dish, but I do remember we had deep dish every time we played in Chicago.
Yeah. And I think this was one of the more popular. I think it was Lou Malnati's, if I'm getting that right.
I can't remember.
I think it sounds right. But we haven't been able, Henry and I haven't been able to fully give our take on this game. And Todd, I think you and Ryan did a great job dealing with the mixed emotions, to say the least, of yesterday's game, because at one point, the Broncos are losing by 21 points to unquestionably the worst team in the NFL. And we said that all last week leading up to this game. So we weren't trying to hide how bad of a loss this would be. And it looked like the Broncos were getting, well, no, it didn't look like it. The Broncos were getting absolutely dominated by the worst team in the NFL. They made Justin Fields not just look like a competent quarterback, not just look like a good quarterback, look like he should be in the MVP race yesterday, where, let me remind you, going into yesterday, he had more interceptions than touchdowns. They were looking at Caleb Williams as the number 1 overall pick to save their franchise because Justin Fields, that coaching staff, that entire team just wasn't it. So for one half of play, it was awful. And then the Broncos mount a massive comeback, end the game 31-28. Russ looks good. The defense not only stepped up, but had the play of the game, the turning point play of the game, and the Broncos get the win. And so it's not just like you can come in here and be like, everything's great or everything's awful. Mixed emotions a lot, Henry.
Yeah, at the same time, though, they won. I'm happy. That was a lot of fun watching that second half. Like, I was having the time of my life. Like, it's been a while.
Vance.
Yeah, probably. It's been a while since the Broncos have just won a football game, and it's nice. And I don't know. There is, to me, a big part of it where your job is just to win. And if you win, there you go. You did the job. You just got to come back better next week. Like, there's definitely the eye test says some things are wrong, but at the same time, if you're concerned about the first half, you have to be incredibly excited about the second half. You know, it's been that same thing that people have been doing for weeks that just drives me crazy, where it's like, Russ, the numbers are so good. Like, look, he's playing really good football. It's like, well, second half, though, he's not. It's all, but then talk about the first half, too, then. You can't just say the second halves have been bad when the first halves have been incredible. And so it's that same thing where it didn't go smoothly. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know if people would feel better if it was like a Broncos score a touchdown, so it's 7-0, then 7-7, then 14-7, then 14-14. Like, going back and forth makes people feel better than going down big, than coming back big. The point is you got the win, and that's all that really matters.
You have blinders on, though, Henry, because you're viewing this as just like, I feel like the way you're talking about it is like the Broncos played
the middle of the pack team.
Yeah. The Chargers or I don't know, another middle
Colts
of the pack team.
Yeah.
Right. But when you take a step back, this was the Bears, who are awful. And the Bears just showed us how awful they were yesterday by playing their best football of the season and still absolutely blowing it from players to coaches specifically. And they were at home to do it. I do give the Broncos credit, but another thing I have issue with, the Broncos offense came to play one full half of this game, but it wasn't just the second half. The Broncos put together a great first drive, 75 yards, touchdown to start the game, non-existent for literally the next 2 quarters of time. In their next 4 drives, 45 total yards, 0 points. Then the final quarter and a half, they put it together again. And so this offense, they're the bright spot of the team. There's no doubt about it. But they need to be consistent. Saying that, though, they have showed flashes one half of every single game, which is really encouraging. But you can do that for, Todd, help me out here, 1-2 games maybe, and then you need to start putting it together and show consistency. The fact that it's consistently inconsistent of the consistency is like, okay, is this just who they are? But Russell Wilson is absolutely stepping up to the plate here. And we're going to talk about Russ in just a minute. But Todd, after you've had, 16 hours to process this, where are you now?
I think I feel a little bit better, but I still feel like we beat a terrible team. But every win in the NFL is a hard-fought win. I think that the guys came to play, and they didn't quit. They could have easily quit 0-3, down 21 points to one of the worst teams in the NFL. And we finally made some plays on defense. So I think I'm more encouraged than I am frustrated, but I still feel like we have so much more winning to do, or so much more growing to do, to really be the team that we want to be. You talk about not putting it together for 4 quarters. Like, when you go up against some good teams like the Chargers, like the Chiefs or the Bills, like, they're going to play good football for 4 quarters.
Right.
So we have to be prepared to do the same and match their intensity. We can't fall off for 2 quarters and think we'll be able to come back, by down 14 or down 21 points against some really good teams. So just keep growing, keep progressing. Every win is a good win. Good first win. Let's keep on moving, see if we can get some more.
Yeah. To me, like, all that really comes out of yesterday is the season isn't totally dead now. Like, you're right there. Like, you have a chance to go to 2-3 this week. That's all you could ask for. Like, I get that the offense was asleep there for a couple quarters. At the same time, though, like, if they're scoring a touchdown every drive, they would wind up putting up 70 points like the Dolphins did. You're not going to score every drive. Not every drive is going to be a good drive. All you got to do is have enough good drives to get it done. Just happen to be for the offense and defense. Those came in the second half.
Yeah, and to me, I need more consistency. And to me, the way I feel about this game, I'm actually taken down a step about how good I felt about the win. And I do feel good about the win. Let me get that out there. Because Todd said it last week. The Broncos season last week was on life support. I mean, barely alive, but still just enough alive. After the win yesterday, I feel the exact same way. If they would have lost, it's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely dead. To me, the win yesterday doesn't change that. It's not like now we're walking and moving and everything's good. You get the Jets this week, but in just 11 days, and this is crazy to say, in 11 days, the Broncos season could be thriving. Because you get the Jets this week, and then you get the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. The odds are way stacked against the Broncos. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a chance because it's the NFL. There's a chance. The Broncos beat the Jets, beat the Chiefs. Not only are you 3-3, you're on a 3-game win streak, and you just beat the Chiefs. Everything is in your future at that point. So the fact that the Broncos kept the season alive, kept it interesting for, if they beat the Jets, then at least 2 more weeks. It's exciting. But Sean Payton yesterday, and I don't know if you guys were able to hear me. I know my connection was going in and out from Chicago yesterday, Todd. But Sean Payton, I couldn't believe how he really seemed embarrassed about the Broncos win yesterday. Not the win part, but how it happened. I was expecting him to be first win as a Denver Broncos head coach, 21-point comeback. I thought it was also going to be, I thought he was going to be full of emotion, because remember the week before how pissed off he was? This is not what Sean Payton was like. He said that the very first thing he said was, we need to play a lot better. There's going to be a lot of tough film to watch today. Called out the Bears and said, we're going to play a lot better teams than that. No disrespect, Chicago and Matt Eberflus. And then he said, the Bears probably failed the exact same way about us. So, I mean, he was taking shots at the Broncos left and right there. But that kind of made me feel like, oh, damn, okay, if the head coach is kind of embarrassed by this win, maybe I need to take just a little step back.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, like I go back to the Broncos are a bad football team. Like, I think we know that. I don't think anybody has any doubts about that. Like, hopefully they go out there and prove us wrong. And when you're a bad football team, all you can ask is just to win. Like, there's no style points for bad football teams. Like, you just need to find a way to get in there and get out and move on, and they did it.
Well, that's fair, Henry, but
I think he's just upset that they're a bad football team.
Yeah, that's fair. But some people would also say, if you're that bad of a football team, don't win. A lot of people had their eyes set on Caleb Williams, especially entering last week, especially down at halftime. And the way it was looking, fans were like, okay, this season's done. I'm changing my eyesight on this season. Let's look at Caleb Williams. How does 13 look in this Broncos jersey? And so I think that's another reason why emotions were mixed, not with Sean Payton. He wasn't thinking about Caleb Williams, but fans. And RK said it yesterday on the show. He said, this didn't change that the Broncos are a bad football team.
Oh, yeah. But it did change their record, and this is football. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I think Sean is very realistic, and I think that's the lens that we were looking at it through. Like, yes, as a player, I understand winning your first game and how exciting that is for your fans and everyone in the locker room, but I also understand what it means with each team that you beat. Like, beating the Chiefs is a very different victory than beating the Bears. And although beating the Bears gives us our first win, there's nothing to hang our hat on there except for, hey, we won one, let's go get another one.
Right.
Yep.
You know, and then the way they did it, everybody here expected a blowout. You just got beat by 50. Now, like, everybody's back is up against the wall. You're playing the worst team in the NFL. Okay, now it's time to show what you're made of and really make things happen.
Yeah.
Didn't happen like that, but ultimately got to win. Let's try to get another one.
Yep, mixed emotions. And you said trying to get another one, Todd. And if you want to be there to maybe see the most juicy game of the season, the juiciest game of the season, I should say, check out our friends over at Game Time. Broncos Jets. I don't know in the history of the NFL if there's been a more exciting game between a 1-3 team and a 1-3 team than Broncos Jets this weekend. Sean Payton referred to this game yesterday as a fiasco because of everything he said about Nathaniel Hackett in the past. And boy, is this going to be so exciting. If you want to be there to boo the Jets, if you want to be there to count down the play clock for Nathaniel Hackett and the Jets offense with Zach Wilson running
That's a
it,
must.
check out our friends over at Game Time. Use the code DNVR to get $20 off your first purchase. This is a game to be at. This is one I'm so excited about, and if you are too, use that code DNVR over at Game Time to get in.
And if you're watching the game, whether you're at home or in the stadium, make sure you have some Spirit Hound with you to enjoy your time watching this game. It's going to be an exciting game no matter what happens. I really feel like the Jets got robbed last night. I never want to see the Chiefs win. I felt like the Jets got robbed. So I'm drinking some Spirit Hound today to to mourn for the Jets being robbed. They have an award-winning whiskey, 2022 Whiskey of the Year, London Spirits Competition. Sniffs out the finest ingredients available for their whiskey, gin, vodka, all from the state. Bring in juniper berries to their Alliance Distillery and get a free cocktail. They are available in 40 states nationwide. They have a new tasting room in the Highlands. Their whiskey, vodka, and gin can be purchased at stores across Colorado or order online to 40-plus states. Don't worry, you don't have to get a retriever to track down a bottle. Head over to thespirithound.com for availability and details on how and where to buy.
And people in the comment section are calling me roller coaster Zach because I'm all over the place with my emotions.
Man.
But I think that's kind of what this game was for Broncos fans. It's like all over the place. So I'm not taking that as a shot today. One of the things that people have been all up and down a roller coaster about the past 18 months, Russell Wilson. Best thing ever when the Broncos trade for him. Worst trade ever about, 14 months? No, like 9 months ago. And people are still trying to figure out their emotions on him. And we said the number one thing coming into this season, the biggest thing the Broncos need to do, as Peyton Manning joins the Pat McAfee show right now, is see if this is Russell Wilson's, see if Sean Payton can fix Russell Wilson. 4 games in to this season, has Sean Payton officially fixed Russell Wilson? Are you guys confident in saying that?
Yeah. Russ is back. We're getting full Russ. This is better than what he did throughout his career. If you just look at the numbers, like in terms of volume and efficiency, he's up from his career numbers, and he's done it over the course of 4 games now. Feels like way more than that. But yeah, I mean, Russ is doing everything you could ask. Like Russ is back. Russ is fixed.
I think Russ is definitely making some plays. I can say that he is performing at a very high level right now, and I love the way that he's progressing under Sean Payton. You know, I always say the first year with a new coach or new offensive coordinator is good, but the second year is always better. So if this is how he's performing now, I can definitely say that he's on the road to being not only fixed, but possibly better than he was when he first got here. So I'm excited, man. I think that Sean's putting together a good game plan for him. It seems like it's simple and clean and crisp, and Russ is really performing well.
Very good political answer, Todd, but you didn't necessarily say if he's fully fixed. Is it because he's on his way, but you're not ready to officially say, yep, he's 100% fixed?
Yeah, I think he's definitely on his way, and I think he's definitely making plays. And sometimes I like to look at like the game more than the stats, because stats tell one story, but the game tells another. Like the offense still is sputtering at times throughout the games, and we're not going to be able to rely on that long term. So I can't say that he's like 100% fixed. Yes, his stats look good. The 9 touchdowns through 4 games, phenomenal. Great completion percentage, phenomenal. But I just don't know if we can say fixed if he's not at a level to come in and beat the Chiefs and the Chargers, which is why we brought him here.
100%. I'm right there with you. I am so unbelievably encouraged by Russell Wilson through the first 4 games. But quarterbacks, there's a reason only quarterbacks get win-losses. Guards, linebackers, safeties, they don't get credited with win-losses. It's just quarterbacks because so much rests on them. And so 1 and 3, that's not a quarterback being fixed right now. Being 100% fixed, where I'm ready to just close my eyes and say he's the future for the next 5-7 years.
I wouldn't say that. I would say he's fixed.
What?
Russ is back, but I'm not saying you build around him.
Okay, I guess then we have to define what fixed is, because when I say fixed, I'm talking about
he's
you
our guy,
feel
we're
like
rocking.
he's the guy that you traded for and gave the 5-year, $250 million contract to.
See, and I think that's absolutely true.
Well, if you signed him to the 5-year, $250 million contract and you felt good about that at the time and you thought he was fixed then that means when you're saying he's fixed again, that he's worth that contract.
But the team around him isn't good. Like, I still think this is a bad football team. And like I said before the season, like if you don't make the playoffs this year, how do you say that the Russell Wilson era could result in anything? Like, because he's going to be 35 at the end of the year. Like, you've still got whatever, 4 or 5 years, the contract extension kicks in next year. He's not going to get any better. The cap hits just keep going up. And I don't know that the talent is there around him to actually build around him. Like, I still think he might move on after the year, but I do think he's absolutely playing to his contract.
You are crazy, Henry. If
Really?
you have the quarterback, the guy that you think is the guy, you don't think about moving on from him.
You definitely do. I mean, because
What?
I think
No
he's-
way.
I'm saying he's a neutral value. Like, that contract, he's giving you what you pay, but you're paying $50 million with no surplus value. Like, he's not playing above the contract. You're just saying we'll commit this money to get this, but without a team around him, there's just no way it's going to work.
When he first got paid, what did they have him rank as far as QBs, as far as his pay?
Number one?
Did he reset it?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think so.
So when he reset it, he has to play like the number one quarterback. Just because guys have gotten paid since he got paid doesn't mean that they didn't pay him to be the number one quarterback in the league.
agree with you.
Other guys have gotten paid, which is raising the pay scale for
Yeah.
quarterbacks, but they paid him to be the number one quarterback in the NFL. And just if he sits now at 5 based on other guys getting paid, oh, he's playing at 5. No, that's not what they brought him in here to do. So I
Okay.
can't say that that's enough.
Okay, that's fair. But I do think, I mean, you are giving him the 5th most, and he's probably right around the 5th best.
Then how are you moving on from the fifth best quarterback in the NFL?
Because you're
got
paid.
yelled at by Todd.
Oh no, because ignore him, Zach. It's because, I mean, we can go through all the numbers. Like, there's only been one quarterback ever who's made more than 12% of a team's cap space who's won a Super Bowl. It's Patrick Mahomes. Like, quarterback salaries are just so inflated that Russell Wilson's definitely worth this money, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl with a quarterback making that much money unless he is Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. Like, it's just a bad decision to invest that much money in a top 5 quarterback, but he is living up to the money. Like, he's playing market value. He's playing better than Derek Carr, who's behind him, you know?
So you would move on from a top 5 quarterback because he's not playing top 5. We've seen the Broncos be in quarterback purgatory for a long time, but then also you were okay with the Broncos giving them that deal last year, weren't you?
Yep.
But he's lived up to it, is what you're saying, and now you're ready to move on after 2 years?
Because, well, again, we're having two different conversations. Like, you have to look at where this team is right now. With even less resources going forward, are they going to be able to build a better team around Russ and compete for a Super Bowl? I don't think that's the case. I don't think that they're going to have enough resources to actually do a total 180 and get to that level. And for that reason, I don't know why you ride out the Russ years and say, like, well, we might as well do it because he deserves it. Like, I think that you still have to pull the trigger. But when you look at what he in particular has done, he's done enough. Like, if you're just saying, like, how has he performed in these 4 games? Tua outplayed him. He outplayed Sam Howell. He outplayed Jimmy Garoppolo.
Ooh, I don't
He
know.
should be
I don't think
3-1.
he
You
played
don't
out-
think so?
I don't think he outplayed Sam Howell.
I
Okay.
think somehow, yeah.
He had a good game too. It was close. But even then, it's 2-2, and you're saying you're a 500 team. Who knows, your playoff team, whatever. It's the team around him that just doesn't have enough talent. Like, there just isn't enough talent, and you're not going to get any more talent when you're giving a guy $50 million a year. Like, there's just no more money to go around.
I mean, to be fair, though, you look at other players or other quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes' playmakers that he has,
Yeah.
he has Travis Kelce, and that's way more than the Broncos have, to be fair. Those wide receivers, I mean, how much were they getting dogged after
Yeah.
that first game? Really bad. But I think something, and why I don't want to say Russell Wilson is completely fixed yet, is because I still think he has another level to take. And I think he can take that next level. And I actually think Sean Payton's holding him back a little bit. I think Sean Payton has some training wheels on him still because we haven't seen the full Russell Wilson experience. And I'm really encouraged by this, actually. I'm very encouraged by it because Russell Wilson's been great. 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He has the 3rd best passer rating in the NFL. His QBR is 16th in the NFL, so that shows there's still some room for improvement now. But I think Sean Payton has done a great job of letting Russ play really well while not putting too much on his plate, because what happened last year? Too much was put on his plate.
Yep.
It was very obvious. So Sean has taken a little bit back, and I think he's slowly going to continue to give him more and more, which is going to make his ceiling even higher for this team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that there's more that Russ can do to be even better. So I can't call him fixed, but I think that he is well on his way to being a really good quarterback for the Broncos. And I don't know if you move on from him, 1 year after being with Sean Payton. I think you have to give it time to progress. And I think if we do have a high pick next year, we can trade that pick for more picks to bring in guys to really fill this roster with leaders and dogs, and really put together something that can be a playoff worthy or AFC West contention team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does the conversation now switch from Caleb Williams, Drake May to now Marvin Harrison Jr. / trading away picks? Because, Henry, you're right about this team right now. The defense is the worst in the NFL right now. The offense, 4 of 5 offensive linemen got flags yesterday.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable. And so far, the skill position players outside of Marvin Mims and Jaleel McLaughlin have been underwhelming, I think is fair to say, for the most part. So you do need talent around, and if you end up with a top pick and someone really wants to trade it, then maybe that's the move you make, is you do make a trade.
Yeah, you definitely could. I guess thinking back, my thing is Russell Wilson was never Patrick Mahomes, and he never will be. He was never Tom Brady. He was never Aaron Rodgers. You know, he was kind of that tier below. Like, he's a Pro Bowl, not all-pro quarterback. You know, he's always been your 5th or 6th best quarterback in the league, and that's what I think he's been. I think that's the best way to explain it.
And I think 5th or 6th best quarterback in the league to me is borderline elite, and borderline elite guys carry bad teams. They make everyone around them better. If you have an average
Even this team?
Yes, yeah.
4 different linemen had penalties.
Yeah.
4 different offensive linemen. There was one who didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shout out Ben Powers for not having a penalty. By the way, Sean Payton said penalties are driving him crazy in training camp. He said the way you try to coach penalties out, and then if that doesn't work, how you get penalties to go away is you just pull people. You bench people that are committing penalties. The fact that Sean Payton's saying that now these penalties are driving him crazy, we've already seen some changes to the defensive side, which we'll get into later in the week with starters being changed and stuff.
Yep.
I wouldn't be shocked if this week or next week someone that's getting paid a lot of money on the offensive side of the ball is benched, whether it's a wide receiver, whether it's an offensive lineman, or at least, have their starter tag pulled from them, because Sean has had it up to here with these penalties on the offensive side of the ball.
I think changes the defense are more likely. A lot more likely.
Which we've already seen.
Exactly, we have. But that's the other thing with Russ is, like, he can't make the defense not give up 37.5 points a game. Like, there's not much he can do. Like, I guess he could just refuse to throw the ball deep and just, like, throw it short and try to run more clock, but that would just be an insane thing to do. So, yeah, Russ, to me, has done what he needs to do. He's playing winning football.
He's playing winning football.
Yeah.
On a one.
I think so.
team.
I think so. I think
And
that defense is just that bad.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is that bad.
Yeah,
and I
don't
this.
think anybody could.
Typically on this podcast, there's a lot of agreement. And I think we are kind of emulating where Broncos fans are right now, is how we feel about that win yesterday.
Yeah.
Some people feel great. Some people are like, oh, why? And then again with Russ, there's certainly conversations still surrounding him. And we'll get to see Russ go up against Zach Wilson this week. But before we look ahead to this week, we got to look back at the crucial plays in this game and get the inside scoop, one of my favorite segments of the week with Todd Davis. And grab yourself a Breckenridge Brewery Broncos Country Ale. You're probably proud right now to celebrate the Broncos, at least after yesterday's win. And you want to crack open a nice beer for Monday Night Football? Grab some Broncos Country Pale Ale by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. You're going to want to get these for this week, for next weekend, and then also Thursday Night Football coming up. So head to the store, get a 12-pack. They even have 18 packs. So check them out, the official beer of DNVR. And if you want to find out where to get them, go to breckbrew.com and find their beer locator. And
also, go get yourself some Shady Rays. We were in Chicago yesterday, and because it was such a quick trip, I didn't want to bring sunglasses with. Like, I was trying to pack as light as I possibly could.
I was the exact same way.
Yeah. I was like, I just want this one backpack so that I don't have to bring, like, 2 bags with to the stadium. Like, it would just be way easier if I can just fit everything there. And I had to, like, bring a change of shoes, like, things that take up a bunch of space. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not dealing with sunglasses today. Terrible decision. It was a terrible decision. It was so bright out there. That whole walk, because we walked like a half mile to the tailgate. We walked another mile to the stadium. Like, we were all over the place. And I was thinking the whole time, wow, this would be really nice to have my Shady Rays. So don't make the mistake that I made, especially because even if I brought them with, and lost them, which is one of my concerns. Because I was like, do I put them in a bag? Like, I don't know. They just replace them. If you lose or break your sunglasses, it's an awesome program that they have. Whole bunch of awesome sunglasses. And just for DNVR customers, if you use the code DNVR, you can get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. So you can try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
All right, Todd, anything catch your eye?
No, I'm just looking at these comments. There's a lot of good comments out there, and people are kind of going back and forth and having conversations.
That's good.
With themselves. So
Yeah. I love it. I'm sure Hank's going to jump in the comment
The
section
pod is
soon.
not needed. It's just here to for people
to
to
facilitate
talk.
comments.
Exactly. And I think we're having a great conversation with ourselves, with the commenters. And speaking of the commenters, hit us with a thumbs up. We really appreciate the support.
Oh, yeah.
It helps us a lot as the Broncos season
You
stays
see
alive.
this one?
What?
I'm kind of with Hank.
Oh, kind of
Yeah,
with
kinda
Hank.
with Hank. There we go.
I'm not gonna say your name, man, because it's kind of weird. But I can relate because I am also that. But
Wow.
you are getting banned.
You're
Just for that
here,
comment.
kind of with
Oh,
Hank. How
wow.
about that?
Kinda with
Speaking-
Hank.
No.
Oh.
I agree with his name. I am his name.
Oh, I don't
Oh.
see what you're even
I
talking
can say it
about.
out loud.
I'm
The fat brown kid.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's hard to shake his head.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I didn't see that.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, let's jump into the inside scoop with Todd Davis to break down some key plays of yesterday's game.
Scoop it up. Let's go. Here you got the clips for us.
All right,
let's
what
do
are
it.
we looking at?
All right, this is 3rd and 7. First quarter, 5:14 on the clock. This is the screen to Jaleel. This is just playmakers making plays. This is a great play by Jaleel. A play that really should have been caught and tackled, but he's able to make guys miss and make plays. So see the old lineman getting out. Russ gives him a good ball to where he can really see the field in front of him and start to make plays. Now, if you go forward, the old lineman does a great job picking up this block, but you see they have, 2 more defenders coming, plus the guy on the block of the old lineman. He should be tackled here, and this should not be a touchdown.
Yeah.
But this is just his ability to make guys miss, and this is something that he has. I think that Javonte and Samaje have it too. I just think they do it in a different way. They do it by breaking tackles as opposed to making guys miss. So this is something that's unique to him, and this is totally a play where you see 3 guys around the ball. They should have had him tackled, but he's so shifty out there on the field that he's able to make guys miss. Great job of the O-line getting out there to block so that he has space to run. But this is a play that's 100% on Jaleel to make, and he made it, and he made a great touchdown. I really could have put together a full Jaleel highlight because there was multiple plays
Yes,
throughout
definitely.
the game that he made, tackles for loss that should have happened, that he turned into great plays, and this is one of them starting in the first quarter with the first touchdown of the game.
Todd, I absolutely love that you picked this play because it was masterful by Jaleel. Not only were the offensive linemen out there, Jaleel's a lot faster than those offensive
Yep.
linemen. If he wanted to, and what a lot of running backs do, you just sprint by the offensive line, you don't let the blocks develop, and then you get tackled. It still would have been a first down, still would have been a good play, but Jaleel had the patience to slowly run behind Quinn. He got that one block, then he took off. And I think that kind of that change in speed that he had allowed him to kind of throw those other defenders that were unblocked off a little bit because when you watch it in full speed, he kind of goes into a hole of defenders and then just shoots out. And I think his speed and his ability to read that was so key there. And Jaleel was so good in this game. He was one of 4 players to get a game ball from Sean Payton. And I'll tell you what, after the game, Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, and then this morning, Sean Payton couldn't speak highly enough about Jaleel. I don't know why he's only getting 17 snaps in a game. And Marvin Mims getting 16 snaps. I'm going to lose my mind if this stays the way it is. But after the game, Sean Payton said Jaleel's earned himself an even more expanded role. And for a guy that you said, Todd, you could have put together a whole package of just highlights from Jaleel. Get him the ball more.
Yeah, he's definitely making a lot of plays, and that patience is key for running backs. I think that's maybe the number one talent that makes running backs really good in the NFL is their patience to let blocks set up downfield and be able to run behind their blockers. And he has it, man. I think he has a lot of veteran knowledge as a young player, so hopefully they keep getting him more plays. The only thing about Jaleel is that he does best outside the tackles, and if you have him in there for more plays, you start tipping your hat a little bit, and they're going to change the defense that they're playing against them. So you got to be able to switch them in and out to where you get guys like Samaje in there. Now they got to set up the defense for guys that run inside, and then switch out Jaleel real quick, and we'll pop him outside. So hopefully he gets more plays, though. He's making plays.
Yeah, I completely agree with you
All
there.
right, what's next? You here?
All right, so we got second quarter, 8 minutes left. The Bears are up 14-7 on their own 15.
Yeah, this is the Khalil Herbert run, and this is just the emphasis on tackling. I think the defense did some good things yesterday in the second half, but this is the first quarter, and I feel like the Bears were kind of unstoppable in this game. What you see is a corner blitz, and the corner just gets too high off the edge. He doesn't squeeze in close to the hip of that down defender to be able to make this tackle, so it leaves a lot of space and a lot of opening for Khalil to really get through the offensive line and get to the second level.
And I believe, is this Jaquan McMillan on that corner blitz there?
I'm not sure.
It's
Too blurry.
32.
My eyes aren't good enough.
It was 32?
Oh,
Just
DTY.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he got too high. And then here, this is a play where, we really should have him wrapped up in the backfield. And that's why I feel like the defense is not just on scheme, it's more on execution because, everybody wants to call for Van Joseph's head. But if you see the play before that, if you go back, there's no way he should get through this unscathed and really get to the next level. But we have a couple missed tackles that allow Khalil to get to the next level. So I think there needs to be onus put on Vance Joseph for sure, but I think it needs to be split between him and the players because the players have to go out there and execute. And first of all, missing tackles is never okay, and this is something that continues to bite the Broncos, and hopefully they get it fixed.
Yeah, and Todd, I mean, to your point, you don't get to be, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't get to be the worst defense in the NFL with a bad coordinator. It's got to be a mix of bad coordinator and bad coaching mixed with player, maybe lack of talent, and also the lack of talent not doing their job too. It's probably a mix of all three of those, right?
Exactly. Because if you look at this play right here, if the corner just squeezes top to the hip, that's going to be a tackle for loss. Now Vance Joseph just called a great play. Now, he's putting them in great positions to win,
right.
And now he looks great. But instead, it turns out to be a 30-yard run because, one, the corner doesn't squeeze, two, linebackers and safeties miss tackles, and now this guy's off on the run. So we just got to be able to hold everybody accountable to be able to see how we can get better.
Yep, and we're talking about a young safety playing. We're talking about a young linebacker playing with Drew Sanders. DTY. Broncos made some other changes yesterday by Nick Bonito starting instead of Randy Gregory. We already knew that Jonathan Cooper was going to start ahead of Frank Clark, although Frank didn't play yesterday. And then one more notable change. Why am I not able to think of it right now? Oh, Jaquan McMillan starting ahead of Asang Bassi in that nickel position.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't have enough talent. Like, they've got Kareem in the secondary. They've got Pat in the secondary. They don't have Justin. They don't have Caden Stearns. They don't have K1. They don't have PJ Locke. Like, if you expect that to be a good group, it's just not going to happen. And then you throw in, like, the missed tackles and the missed assignments and all that, and it's just – they're in a tough spot. And hopefully Josie and Justin and Mike Purcell, like all those guys get healthy here pretty quickly. K1 could be back soon too, in theory.
And PJ.
He'd be huge.
Yeah, he would be. So Broncos are lack of talent probably to start the season on defense, and then also hurt with a lot of guys that are out as well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, what's next?
Oh, here we go. Jaleel again. I feel like this is – 1st and 10, third quarter in the game. This is when the Broncos start to mount their comeback. And this is a run by Jaleel, who's able to make defenders miss and get to the outside. I think his speed and his versatility is really coming to light and shown. And like you said, I think he should get more plays. His ability to really get outside and let the blockers block for him. This is something I want to point out with the offensive line. There's a lot of push that the offensive line is getting. I know they haven't been great. There's been times where they've let guys go, especially in the pass blocking, but they are getting downfield. They are putting a body on a body, and they're really allowing him to have kind of open running lanes at certain points throughout the game. And that's partly on Jaleel. That's partly on the offensive line being able to create blocks. But I want to give a shout out to them because they don't get any praise for what they do in the passing game, but in the running game, I think they've been pretty good so far.
Yeah, and that's huge because that's what this offensive line was supposed to be.
Yep.
They were supposed to be really good in the run game, and they have opening up a lot of holes. And you see it. Jaleel, 10 carries for over 70 yards yesterday. That is definitely a lot of credit to him, but especially as a smaller back, You're not doing that if you're getting hit at the line of scrimmage every single play.
Exactly. And this specifically right here, this is him being one-on-one and making a guy miss. We can't see it because of how the pitches are set up, but the guy that's on his right actually started on his left. And he stopped and started so quickly that the guy ended up on the other side of him, and then he's taking off downfield. And that's just him being better and really one of the quickest players on the field. And this is something that Tyreek Hill has. This is a talent that he has. His ability to stop and start, he can go from 0 to 100 really within 2 steps. And that's something I see in Jaleel that's going to make him really, really a great player in this league for a while if he's able to continue to build on that, because there's no way to account for it. Most guys can't stop and start that fast.
That is such a good comparison of what makes Jaleel special. It is that, Todd. I love that comp.
What's funny about that, I was trying to get that where he was moving, but the thing is, it just looked like a blur. So like, there's no, like, you're not going to be able to tell what it is because the frames didn't work.
I love that. Todd calling out you here, and you here trying to defend himself there.
Hey, at least I'm not Hank. That's all I'm making for now.
Wow.
Henry, wow. You're just going to let that happen?
He blocked me from the chat too, which is a thing he does.
Let's go.
No. No, because now I have to hijack the show to complain about it. All these things that I would just be saying nice and in the chat. Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't waste your guys' time, but now you guys get to hear too.
Do you look blocked? Look at this. Is this
blocked? Yeah, that's not blocked. That's not great.
He just unblocked it. He turned it gray and then he looked at me and he smiled. And
why are you gonna believe the guy running the computer, the guy that doesn't know how to run a computer?
Really quick, speaking of giving Hank shit, we met a lot of cool people at the game yesterday, specifically at the Broncos tailgate. A lot of Broncos fans there, and one of the guys was like, "Hank, you get so much crap on that show,
yes,
but we love you. Keep it up." And Hank, we do love you. Keep it up. It's all in fun.
Yes.
And shout out to everyone that we met. The tailgate in Chicago and CHGO was awesome. Todd, everyone missed you there. Everyone was like, man, we thought we were going to have Todd Davis. Someone brought a Super Bowl 50 football, and they just wanted your signature.
Didn't ask me to sign it.
Henry tried to sign it, and they were like, no, we're not having you sign this. But it was so cool to meet all of you guys. And next time we do this, we're really going to try to have the whole crew there as well. So really awesome to meet everyone. And shout out to all the Broncos fans that showed up.
Yes, sir.
Also, awesome cinnamon roll in the press box.
Yeah. About the only thing that was awesome in the press box?
I mean, we were in the press box.
That's true.
So just the cinnamon roll.
Wow.
You set yourself up for that one, Henry.
Yeah. He's feeling empowered today.
Do we have any more plays?
Yeah, we got 2 more.
Oh, 2 more. Let's hit them.
Plays. Yeah, this is a touchdown to Cortland. This is, I mean, we wouldn't say Russ is all the way back, but this is definitely timing route, a great play, and seeing Court one-on-one with the safety. Court is able to make a good play, and Russ is able to get in there for a touchdown. This is Court one-on-one, and safety gets too far over the top, and, you know, Russ sees it immediately. Look at that clean pocket. Shout out to the O-line once again for giving him time to make this throw. It's 3rd and 9. Really, the Broncos are really coming back, and this is really an important play because you get stopped here. Now you got a field goal. Now you're really still 2 possessions to where you need to be to really get the game in your control. So great job of getting this to Cortland right underneath the safety. Great route. You know, a lot of guys will drift or sink, but him being able to cut it off right there at the goal line, right in front of the safety, it was great. And that was also absolute laser from Russell Wilson to get him this ball. And Cortland's playing pretty well. I know he's had some hiccups, but 3 touchdowns in 4 games. I look for him to continue to get better, and hopefully he's really able to get all of what he can do out of him in this offense.
And you see this on that final screenshot there. The linebacker has his hand up, and the ball, an inch above it, just as perfect as it can be. But it also has to be that laser because that safety is dropping down and would probably have a pass breakup if it didn't have enough zip on it. So perfect throw from Russ. And I don't know if they showed this on the game copy, but Russ, right after throwing this, it is the most emotion I've maybe ever seen from Russ in a positive way. Did you see it?
He looked like Tiger.
Oh,
Exactly.
Exactly. Nailing like a 46-yard for foot putt on 18 to win the whole thing. That was huge. And Sean talked about it today, just how Russ always has a glass half full mentality. And he said, especially when we started to pick it up in the game, that started to be contagious. for the rest of the team. And I think right there was a massive moment.
Absolutely. Great moment for the team. And everybody's still following Russ's leadership. So seeing him excited, I know it boosted the rest of the sideline.
Yep. And final play to break
Last
down
one.
here.
What is this one? Oh, this is the sack fumble. So there was a couple of times in this game, and shout out to the Chicago Bears for not knowing how to coach or block up guys. But Nick Bonito is running clean at the quarterback at least 3 times. And if you're not going to block him, he's going to be able to make plays like this. It's a great job from him. Justin Fields is an athletic quarterback, but he's able to get him on the ground, strip sack. And the great thing about this is that he went after the hand that's throwing the ball. That's how you really get the ball out. That's how guys create strip sacks. You don't just want to take this guy to the ground. You want to chop at the arm throwing the ball so that he can't get this thing off in time. And it turned out to be a great play for the Broncos. Jonathan Cooper, that's all hustle, all effort, and he scoops and scores, which ends up being the game-tying play for the Denver Broncos. And really, I would say the game-winning play. We needed the defense to step up. They stepped up in a big way, and this is really why we won the game.
And it was a 14-point swing because that Russ touchdown, then this was just a couple of plays later. This is what did it absolutely. It changed everything. The Bears lost all of their momentum. Justin Fields lost all of his momentum, and he was the key for the Bears going into this game. And shout out to Nick Bonito. He really is coming on, and he got dogged last year, rightfully so. He was very disappointing, but he was a rookie, and he was a rookie that needed time to develop. And right now, he's playing like a second-round pick, and he's really living up to that. He was asked after the game, did he at all maybe bite on the play action on this play? He said, no.
He wasn't looking at the play action.
No. Then you watch this. There's no chance he was looking at that. So credit to him for staying true. If it's a Tom Brady, maybe you can bite on it, because even if you bite on it and it is a play action, you can still get back to him. Justin Fields, you can't bite on those because he's too fast. He would just take off and run. So really, really good job by Nick Bonito there.
He's tied for 10th in the NFL in sacks and 2nd in tackles for loss. That's some good stuff.
He's not even a starter.
No,
he was
did.
yesterday.
He started for Randy.
The first time, but to have those kind of numbers is not
Right.
like a full-time starter. That's big time.
And he's earned it. He's earned it.
He has.
I don't mean to call you guys out, but it feels like the guys that you guys were really low on in the offseason have showed out more than the guys you guys were higher on.
Who
Like
got here?
Nick Bonito, Russell Wilson.
What did we say about them?
I just feel like you guys were. I'm talking more to Henry than you, Todd.
Okay.
Just deflect. Yeah, no, he had you.
Okay, but
Oh
there's
my
the thing. There's the
goodness.
thing. Todd can hurt me. You can't.
Wow. Oh,
That's not
Henry's-
true.
I see some
He said
steam
that's not
coming
true.
out of
That's not
Henry.
true. That's not true.
You got something up your sleeve?
What's
I'm
not,
strong.
What's not true?
Yeah, like
Todd
Sean.
can't-
Yeah.
You better watch out. He's pulling his sleeves back.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what happens
You want
after
me
the
cut him
sleeves
off
come
like
off.
Sean.
Cut him off?
Yeah.
You want
Get
the
him out.
scissors? I got you.
If you cut my sweatshirt here, I swear to God.
Oh, then it's
I was
over.
gonna give them to you. Why would I cut them?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we might need to do like a stock up, stock down at some point this week.
Yeah. I would like that. I think
Yeah.
we also need to do like maybe a fight night at the DNVR Bar. Henry
Ooh.
and here we
I'm
can
in
even
if he
we
is.
can even have.
Ooh.
Look at that comment from Jose real quick on the screen.
What's it say?
Can we read it? It says Hank
Oh.
was low on Bonito.
I don't know that I was low on Bonito.
Dang.
I did say
No,
I did
no,
say
no.
that he
Receipts?
was
You're keeping
bad
receipts?
last year.
No.
And just to be H-Town Bronco, I was hella scared.
No.
Todd looked at me
Also,
terrifyingly.
to be fair, everyone was low on Nick Bonito. So no. You could go after Henry,
Yeah.
but you have to go after 100% of people as well, because everyone was low on Nick Bonito. Again, rightfully so.
He had one sack.
He didn't. He didn't even show flashes last year. So we were rightfully down on him, and now we're rightfully giving his props for working on it. And it's not happening by accident. It was him and one other player Saturday morning of the draft. So mid to late April, they were in there working out in the Broncos field house at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Credit to him. He put in the work, and now it's clearly showing. The coaches are giving him the respect by giving him his first start yesterday. And so, yes, credit to Nick Bonito. He deserves all of it. And shame on you, Henry, for being low on him.
Damn it.
But for fight night, maybe we can get some odds over at DraftKings Sportsbook. And if you want to bet on that, you can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. And the
What's
cool thing
the line?
about these, between Henry and Yahir,
Yeah.
Henry, you're so confident in yourself. I'll give you a little boost. I'll say you're plus 225.
Plus 225.
Yeah, I would put it plus 400
I say we
without.
should also-
Really? Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna say this. I'll give Henry this. he is a little bit quicker than me, so I'll give him minus
A little.
100. Plus 100, I think we're even. I think
Wow.
I will go
Okay. Even.
I will go even, but he is getting knocked out in the first round.
Wow. No. Then the odds shouldn't be even if you think he's gonna knock out in the first round.
I don't think he's capable.
You know-
I don't think he's capable of knocking somebody out. Like I think he could just swing and swing and swing. I could just stand there. I wouldn't be out.
Great.
Oh,
The
you just-
Friday night
Yeah,
action.
exactly. Yes.
Eating all the.
God damn it.
Oh, this is incredible. Michael siding with you, Henry, on a knockout.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love this. I love this. Here I'm not. DraftKings is not going to let you set lines
I think
because
might.
I don't think your lines make any sense. But DraftKings, you want to get in
Oh,
on the action.
yeah.
Great place to go. $200 in bonus bets by placing a $5 bet. And I think I have a winner for tonight. So I want to give that to you after I tell you. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or HOPE-NY. Text it. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit cccp.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, Louisiana. 21 plus. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility, terms, and responsibly gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Okay, let's jump into our DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week. And like I said, my favorite game of this entire weekend to bet on is tonight. I love the Seahawks, and I have not said that in a long time after after all the shit they talked about Russ. But I love the Seahawks -2 going into New York. New York, the Giants have one of the worst offenses in football, have one of the worst defenses in football. Now the Seahawks have one of the worst defenses in football, but they have like the 6th best scoring offense in football. I think the Seahawks easily take care of the Giants to get the win tonight, and they're -2, so give me Seahawks -2.
All right, and I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals. I think everybody was low on the Arizona Cardinals to start the year, but they're going against the Bengals, who everybody was high on, and the Bengals have really struggled. The money line is plus 150, and I feel like I would definitely take the Arizona Cardinals plus 150 against the Bengals.
That's a good one.
Wow.
There's also a chance that like you lose that bet like 40-0, and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? that might be a really good bet though.
I don't think the Cardinals are losing 40-0. I don't think they're
so
gonna.
either.
They are playing hard as hell.
Uh-huh.
And Jamar Chase is now losing it after the game, saying, "I'm always bleeping open."
Yeah, He's
Yeah,
hot.
there's a meltdown there. Just give me the Broncos -130. Like that just seems easy. There's some other like
What's the line right now?
2 points.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I like it.
Fair.
I think I like it. I almost want to get on some Russ props. There were crazy odds for him to have a 300-yard game. It would have been the first time in his career he had 3 consecutive 300-yard games. Broncos started a little slow in that one though, so he didn't get it. I might take like a Russ over too, but I haven't looked that up.
Ooh, I don't know. This Jets defense scares me, but
Does it?
Yes.
I don't know. I think it
Yes.
might be a little overrated.
Ooh, we'll get into it
Yeah,
this week.
we have plenty of time, yeah.
Their offense, yes, trash. Their defense, really good. But we'll get into that. And also check out us over at thednvr.com. We got the DNVR lock. We got deals going on all the time. And if you want a free t-shirt, become a diehard. There's so many perks with being a diehard. Like you get a free t-shirt every single year that you're a diehard with us. You get discounts at the bar. You get discounts on over at the locker. And you supporting us really, really helps us. Just like you guys giving a thumbs up in the comment section, hitting us with a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast really helps us. We are like a couple reviews away from 1,000 over, I believe, on Spotify or Apple. So if you guys could get us to 1,000, be the first Broncos podcast, not just within our company, obviously, in the world, to get to 1,000 reviews. And we really appreciate all the love and support. And we'd love it if you checked out thednvr.com, become a diehard, and then also just read our work over at thednvr.com. Game grades is coming up from Henry soon. That is a must read. So check us out over at thednvr.com. And we're going to check you guys out right now. We've got Broncos coming up. We've got some media availability in just a few minutes, so we only have time for a couple of questions, but I want to hit as many as we can, and let's get to a couple of super chats first. First one coming in from Greg S. says, plenty of bad I can say about this game, but let's stay positive. Is this resurrection season? Puns intended.
I bet it is. I don't know. Win's a win. Like, I wasn't expecting them to look great. I mean, they just lost by 50 points. You just need something to build momentum off of, and they've taken a step. Now they can take another step.
Yeah, to answer the question that Henry avoided, yes, this is absolutely resurrection season through the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah, through the first 4, I think he's definitely resurrected. 4 games, not 3 days, but he's definitely finding a way to be resurrected.
Wow.
The Blind Swordsman says, I don't care if it was the quote-unquote Bears. They beat an NFL team.
Yeah.
Some people might not call them an NFL team, but
Wow.
yeah, they are an NFL team right now.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs only beat the Jets by 3.
Yeah,
It's
true.
the NFL. It's what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, yep, it's true. T. Crane says, can we count down the play clock of the Jets' first drive, even every drive? Let's make Hackett never want to come back to Mile High. Yeah, I think this is going to be something the fans do, and we're going to talk about it as the week goes on, because this game, again, it's 2 1-3 teams, yet there's so much juice. There's so much sizzle here. I love it.
Look at my wife leaving a comment.
Oh, I
Wow.
love it, Cena. Yes. One of my favorite episodes. Oh, man, so cool to have you rolling with us, Cena.
Love it.
Wow.
All right, let's hop into the comment section on the website. Hit a few of these really quick. Kai Not Kyler says, hey, crew, my wife and I are coming to Denver from Portland, Oregon for the Jets game and are excited to be hanging out with you at the tailgate and the bar. In the meantime, I think we've seen enough this season to evaluate one disappointing aspect of our team that seems to be undergoing the radar. George Payton's free agency moves. Powers, Allen, and P. Ryan have been underwhelming. Gregory still hasn't shown up, and Frank Clark is totally MIA. McGlinchey has been an absolute liability, especially with penalties. It still looks like George Payton is a good drafter, but I'm starting to lose doubt his ability to assemble a full roster.
How much, if you're splitting power, Sean Payton, George Payton for making those decisions?
It's the free agent moves this offseason.
Yeah.
Sean Payton has to be given
80% at least.
a good amount of
Yep.
blame or credit for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say, like, yeah, McGlinchey has the penalties. Powers has I guess Powers hasn't had the penalties. He's just made a couple mistakes and also some penalties. But the offense is moving. Whatever they do with the offense, like if the other option was bring back Billy Turner or whatever they would have done, hey, the offense to me doing just fine. Zach Allen, I would like to see more from though. That one is pretty disappointing at this point.
Yeah, for the most part, I need to see a lot more from these free agents, and we're going to break it all down throughout the rest of the week. Nash Bronco says a win is a win. We also have love from the Count, Arvada Luke, Jersey Bronco, but I just got a text that Broncos availability is starting in just a couple of seconds. We want to make sure that we're covering it for you all, so we'll be back tomorrow. PS Tuesday is back. Paxter
sir.
Tan joining us. Tune in at noon on YouTube. We'll see you then. Thanks so much for rolling with us.